Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're navigating a really fascinating world. It marries serene travel with, well, profound cultural immersion.
That's right.
We're talking about river cruises.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission for you today is pretty straightforward. We want to unpack the top global destinations for these cruises. Then we'll zoom right in on the best options here in North America.
Good plan.
And finally, give you a clearer picture, what to expect cost-wise. It's about getting you informed quickly so you can maybe start dreaming up that next big adventure.
And what's really remarkable, I think, about river cruises is how intimate that connection to a destination is. It's completely different from, say, an ocean voyage.
How so?
Well, you're never really at sea in the same way. You're constantly gliding past landscapes, towns. You often dock right in the heart of historic cities.
Right.
That immediate closeness allows for a much more organic deep dive into local life. It's not just quick shore excursions from a faraway port.
Okay, let's unpack that then. We're starting our journey with three of the, most sought-after overnight river cruises globally. First up has to be the legendary Danube.
Oh, yeah.
When people picture a European river cruise, I feel like the Danube is often what comes to mind. And for good reason, right?
Absolutely. It's Europe's iconic artery, isn't it? It's stretching through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania.
So many countries.
Yeah. And what's fascinating is its versatility. One week you're looking at medieval castles. The next you're, steeped in the imperial grandeur of Vienna or Budapest.
And that flow, that journey through such diverse historical landscapes, that's precisely the appeal, I think.
Yep.
You'll find yourself exploring Vienna's palaces, maybe Budapest's thermal baths, Bratislava's Old Town,
Right.
all while staying in pretty luxurious accommodation.
Right. And when we talk about the companies that really excel here, it's about more than just, nice rooms.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Take Ammo Waterways, for instance. They have this ship, the Ammo Magna. What sets it apart isn't just the whirlpools or the gourmet dining, though those are nice. It's actually its innovative double-width design.
Double width on a river.
Exactly. It's a
Got it.
bit of a technical feat. It means more space, obviously, but it allows for multiple distinct dining venues, even a small fitness studio.
Yeah.
It feels almost like a resort, but
Yeah.
you still have that intimate river connection.
Interesting.
Then you've got Viking River Cruises. They're really renowned for their grand European tour. Their focus is more on the enriching itineraries, and they have this consistent, sort of elegant Scandinavian design across their ships. Very reliable experience.
Okay.
And if you're looking for ultra-luxury, Uniworld boutique river cruise collection, they're unique.
Oh, so
Those
good.
ships are like floating boutique hotels, full of art, sumptuous suites, personal butlers, actual original artworks on display. They really emphasize curated, almost VIP tours. Avalon Waterways often stands out, too, for their panorama suites. They have these open-air balconies, basically wall-to-wall windows that slide open, designed to really bring the outside in. Great for people who just want constant views.
That makes sense.
And Talk River Cruises. They're known for being truly all-inclusive,
Meaning.
meaning pretty much everything. Every excursion, all gratuities, almost all alcoholic drinks. It's all covered. It really minimizes any hidden costs, which some people appreciate.
Right, that takes the guesswork out. Okay, so from the classical grandeur of Europe, let's journey even further back in time to a river whose banks practically whisper tales of pharaohs. The mighty Nile.
The Nile, yes.
What's that experience like? Is it very different?
It's a deep dive straight into ancient history. You're sailing past monuments like the temples of Luxor and Karnak, the Valley of the Kings.
Yeah,
You might even tie in the pyramids of Giza, depending on the itinerary.
incredible sights.
They are. And what's often surprising is how seamlessly these ancient sites are integrated into what can be a very, very high-style, luxurious experience.
Really?
Oh, yes. For true exclusivity, you could even look at something like the Sanctuary Zion Nile Chateau. It's an incredibly intimate dahabeah-style journey.
Dahabeah.
Yeah, it's a smaller, more traditional sailing vessel. For just a handful of guests, it gives you unparalleled access, a much more serene pace. Very special.
That seamless blend of luxury and deep historical exploration sounds amazing. But how do these cruise lines make sure that history isn't just, a backdrop? How do they integrate it so it doesn't feel like just another tour?
That's a really crucial point. On a good Nile cruise, say with Oberoi, it's not just about sailing past. They often have dedicated Egyptologists right there on board with your small group.
Oh,
They give lectures, they contextualize the temples you're literally about to step into moments after docking.
Right.
It really blurs the lines between just seeing something and actually experiencing it, understanding it.
I see.
Similarly, AMA Waterways, with ships like Amadalia, they focus heavily on expert-guided, small group tours. So you're not lost in a crowd, you're getting real insight.
Makes sense.
Sinesta Cruises, on ships like the Sinesta Star Goddess, they provide elegant comfort, but with a strong emphasis on really well-curated, guided excursions that, again, make the history come alive.
Right.
Movenpick Cruises, operating ships like the Movenpick Royal Lily, they strike a good balance between comfort, elegance, and pretty comprehensive sightseeing. Makes the history very accessible.
Okay.
And Steigenberger Legacy is often praised too. Luxurious accommodations, excellent dining, serving as a really comfortable base for those daily explorations into the past.
Okay, now here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. Let's shift gears completely. From ancient wonders to, well, an adventurous exploration of the Amazon River.
Ah, the Amazon.
Yes. For many people, this probably sounds like a serious expedition, maybe roughing it a bit, but these cruises offer a very different take, don't they?
They really do. An Amazon River cruise is an exploration of the world's largest rainforest. You get unparalleled chances to see exotic wildlife, visit indigenous communities, experience this incredibly biodiverse environment.
But in comfort.
Exactly. What's key here, technically, is the shallow draft of the vessels. Ships like Aqua Expeditions Area Amazon, they aren't just beautifully designed inside. Their engineering allows them to navigate these remote tributaries, hidden little coves that larger ships just can't reach.
Ah, so that affects what you can actually see and do.
Directly. It impacts the exclusivity of the wildlife sightings, the authenticity of the cultural encounters. The Peruvian Amazon especially is super popular for bird watching, and these unique excursions, often in small skiffs or zodiacs, going deep into the jungle.
That blend of exploration and sort of refined comfort sounds really compelling. But I wonder, for some, the idea of luxury in such a wild place might raise questions about authenticity, maybe environmental impact. How do the top cruise lines handle that?
That's a very fair point,
Yeah.
and something the best operators are acutely aware of. Take Aqua Expeditions again, with ships like Aquanera. They emphasize sustainability and community engagement just as much as their spacious suites and gourmet food. Their guided excursions are designed specifically to be respectful, low-impact. Delphin Amazon cruises, with ships like Delphini, they also provide really high-end experiences, but with personalized service, ensuring these intimate encounters with nature and local communities are done right.
Right.
Anaconda Amazon cruises, they operate in the Ecuadorian Amazon, slightly different region, but again, focus on small groups, highly knowledgeable naturalist guides. It allows for deeper engagement without overwhelming the environment.
Good to know.
Iberostar Grand Amazon, they cruise along the Rio Negro and the Amazon itself, blending comfort and adventure, offering excursions that connect guests with the ecosystem responsibly. And Amazon Clipper Cruises often provides a more, maybe traditional, intimate setting. Knowledgeable guides focused on exploring some of the lesser-known tributaries. So yeah, these aren't just fancy hotels floating by. They're designed for conscious exploration.
That's really important. Okay, so beyond these top three, Danube, Nile, Amazon, there's just so many other incredible international river options that probably deserve a spotlight too. If you're picturing yourself on a European river, maybe not the Danube, what else should you consider?
Oh, absolutely. If we broaden the view, yeah, plenty of distinct experiences.
Yeah.
The Rhine River, for example,
Okay.
flows through Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands,
Mhm.
and it's famous for those stunning medieval castles perched above vineyards. It's often chosen for its fairy tale landscapes.
Here.
And seamless transitions between cultures.
Yeah.
Stops in places like Strasbourg, Amsterdam.
Sounds lovely.
Then there's the Seine River in France. That's a truly romantic journey. Winds right through Paris, past the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, and stretches out into Normandy, near the historic D-Day beaches.
Right. Big historical significance there too.
Exactly. It's perfect if you want that blend of urban elegance and, well, profound historical reflection.
And if we move further east, maybe into really different cultural landscapes.
Definitely. The Mekong River offers a unique cultural immersion through Southeast Asia, Vietnam, and Cambodia mostly.
Okay.
There you'll see bustling floating markets, ancient temples like Angkor Wat nearby, vibrant cities like Ho Chi Minh City, Phnom Penh. It's an experience incredibly rich in sensory details, the sights, the sounds, the smells.
Sounds intense in a good way.
It is. Then in China, the Yangtze River, famous for breathtaking scenery, especially the dramatic Three Gorges.
Right.
Those cruises often combine visits to historic sites, traditional villages, with glimpses of modern megacities like Chongqing. It's a fascinating contrast, ancient and contemporary China side by side.
Yeah.
And oh, for wine lovers, the Douro River in Portugal, unparalleled.
Ah, the wine region.
Yes, it carves through these stunning terraced vineyards in the Douro Valley, leads to charming towns, and obviously plenty of opportunities for wine tasting, especially around Porto. It's a real journey for the senses.
Okay, wow. So many options globally. But what does this all mean for us, maybe looking for something closer to home? Let's turn our attention now to the top overnight river cruises right here in the USA.
Right.
We should probably start with the most famous one, arguably, the Mississippi.
The Mississippi. Yeah, it's one of the most iconic waterways in the States, isn't it? It lets you explore the absolute heart of America, its diverse heritage.
And cruising on those classic paddle wheelers? There's something special about that, right?
There is.
Yeah.
And what's unique about them is their deliberately slower pace. It's not about speed at all.
Right.
It's about allowing for this deeper absorption of the riverside history. The music, the blues, the jazz pouring out of the river towns, the southern charm.
Yeah.
It just unfolds at a more leisurely rhythm.
And that slower pace, yeah, it really lets you immerse yourself in that rich cultural heritage, the music, the amazing food in cities like New Orleans, Memphis, St. Louis. It feels a bit like stepping back in time, but with modern comforts.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Then out west, there's the Columbia and Snake Rivers cruise. This one traverses the just stunning landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. And it literally follows the historic route of the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Wow, so history and nature combined.
Absolutely. It's a spectacular blend.
That one offers, I know, breathtaking views of the Columbia River Gorge, visits to charming little towns, plus opportunities to taste local wines and cuisine from Washington and Oregon.
That's right. It's a fantastic experience, blending that natural grandeur with a really compelling historical narrative.
Definitely.
And finally, maybe a bit shorter usually, the Hudson River cruise. Especially popular, as you might guess, during the peak fall foliage season. It offers a truly scenic journey through New York State.
Oh, I bet the colors are incredible.
They are. Imagine stops at historic sites like West Point, charming villages along the river, exploring that rich cultural heritage, all with the spectacular backdrop of the Catskill Mountains turning red and gold.
Yeah, sounds like a photographer's dream, especially in autumn. Okay, all these sound incredible, truly. But the practical question naturally arises.
The cost.
Exactly. What's the investment for this kind of access, these unique experiences? Let's address that practical side for you listening. What should you expect, budget-wise?
Right. This is often where the real deep dive begins for many travelers planning a trip. For these top USA overnight river cruises, the costs can vary quite a bit. Depends on amenities, duration, time of year.
Okay.
A Mississippi River cruise, for example, can range anywhere from maybe $200 to $500 per person per night.
Per night, okay.
Yeah. So a typical 7-night journey, it might start around $1,999 per person. But for longer trips or more opulent experiences, maybe a deluxe suite or a special themed sailing, it can definitely go up, sometimes up to, say, $12,499.
Quite a range. And for those stunning Pacific Northwest adventures on the Columbia and Snake Rivers?
Columbia and Snake Rivers cruises, they tend to average a bit higher, maybe $300 to $600 per person per night.
Okay.
So a typical 7-night cruise there might start around $2,500 and could reach up to $7,000 again, depending on the ship, the cabin you choose, and what excursions are included.
Got it. And the Hudson?
The Hudson River cruise, being often a bit shorter, is generally priced somewhere between $1,500 to $4,000 per person for a typical 7-day journey. Of course, deluxe options with top-notch services, lavish suites, those can cost upwards of $8,000.
Okay, those are the North American figures. What about the global destinations we talked about earlier? The Danube, Nile, Amazon.
Yeah.
Are there general ranges we can think about for those?
Yeah, good question. Globally, the pricing can have even wider variations. Depends so much on the region, duration, and especially the level of luxury.
It makes sense.
For European rivers like the Danube or the Rhine, a 7-night cruise usually starts around $2,000 per person for a comfortable, solid experience. But it can easily go up to $6,000, $10,000, even more for those ultra-luxurious, all-inclusive lines like Uniworld or Talk we mentioned,
Right.
Nile cruises. They often range from maybe $1,500 for shorter, more basic options, up to $5,000, $8,000 plus per person for a 7-night ultra-luxury experience on lines like Oberoi, and for the more adventurous Amazon cruises, given their specialized nature, the remote access. A 5- to 7-night luxury expedition often starts around $4,000 per person and can easily reach $10,000 or more. Many of those operators include highly curated excursions, sometimes even internal flights within Peru or Ecuador, in their packages.
That's a really significant spread in prices across the board. What should our listeners really keep in mind when they're looking at these numbers? Are there common sort of hidden costs or things to watch out for?
That's the real insight here, I think. While these base prices usually include your accommodation, most meals, and standard onboard activities, the devil is often in the details of what all-inclusive actually means.
Ah, okay. It's not always fully all-inclusive.
Not always in the way you might assume. For some lines, like talk, all-inclusive truly means almost everything. Every single excursion, all gratuities, even premium spirits. Covered. For others, all-inclusive might just cover the standard excursions, maybe house wines with dinner, but not specialty coffees, not premium drinks, not optional tours. Bespoke private excursions, pre- or post-cruise hotel stays, airfare, those premium beverages, those are very common add-ons.
So you need to read the fine print.
Absolutely. Always scrutinize what's not included in that base fare. Understanding the subtle differences between the various all-inclusive models is really key to budgeting accurately for your actual deep dive experience. No surprises.
That's great advice. Wow, what an incredible deep dive into the world of river cruises this has been. We've seen just amazing diversity, haven't we? From delving into ancient history on the Nile to exploring the incredibly biodiverse rainforests of the Amazon or cruising down iconic American waterways like the Mississippi. The real value here, I think, is getting this knowledge quickly but thoroughly, understanding these unique travel options so you can figure out what truly resonates with your travel style.
And if we connect this maybe to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
a river cruise is just so much more than a trip, isn't it? It's a unique perspective on a destination. It connects you so intimately with its heart, its history, its culture. Imagine stepping directly from your ship onto the cobbled streets of some medieval German village.
Instead of taking a long bus ride from a distant port.
Exactly. Instead of needing that transfer from some huge port miles away, it totally redefines convenience and immersion. It changes how you experience a place.
That's a great way to put it. So as you, our listener, think about your next great adventure, what stands out to you? Which river calls loudest for your next deep dive into the world?